So this is one of your workers here?
It's one of my woofers. Woof woof.
Take my shoes off.
Look at all the
The leaves have it?
yeah, just
Tea tree.
like the sugar cane caught on fire the other day.
Aloha, everyone.
Hey guys,
It's Paulina.
and I'm Mike.
We're OffGridHawaii, and today we are at a really, really awesome place. So we made a friend, and he has similar interests to us, and he invited us over to his house, gave us a little tour, and we were blown away because it is so spectacularly amazing and beautiful. So we decided that we should share this with you guys.
Yeah, this will be a tour video, and the reason it's so awesome and special is because he's done all the work here by hand, no machines, besides like weed whacker and stuff, but no major like machinery, no ripping, and it's really amazing the way it looks in here because I feel like you're just like walking out in like a national forest or like
Yeah, there's a lot of very natural elements still intact as they should be, and let's just show you so you know what we're talking about.
the features and stuff and the rock. It looks incredible. So let's go meet Eddy and check out his place, find out how he did it too, because
Yeah.
you can't do this at most places.
All right, guys, follow me. Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
I'm
How are
Eddy.
you?
Good to see you. Welcome to the land, you guys.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks so much for having us over and showing us your awesome place. We're very, very proud of you. You did a great job.
Yeah, welcome you guys. Check it out. So this is the 3 acres here, spaghetti lot. Basically, all the sea around you is all planted. So before it was just ferns and ohia trees, and now it's a food forest.
So Eddy, the main thing that we see here, like when we first walked here, is that clearly you left a lot of like the natural traits of the land intact. You didn't like mess with it. You just hand cleared it. So when you first got here, it was all overgrown in like wild forest. Like, did you consider like, what should I do with this? Should I just kind of like explore it? Like, how was that process for you?
Definitely. It took a while, so a beginning part of it was a lot of observing. So coming in, just hacking little trails, seeing how the land laid, hanging out, clearing little areas. So when clearing it, I had the intention of originally knowing that the area was a lava flow, kind of exposing some of those areas, and kind of going with the flow, so to speak. Yeah. So yeah, going with the flow, and basically the land told me where to kind of do everything, and I just followed these little pathways, and there's artistic traits that go into it as well from my side, but it's kind of like we were working together, so that was kind of the intention with the clearing. But yeah, it was all overgrown, just aluhe and ohias, and 6 inches to a foot of soil on top at the most.
So ripping it, was that ever an option for you?
I considered it, but it's pretty expensive, and I had more time than money, I could say. Definitely happy with how it turned out, so looking back on it, I'm stoked.
And then was your original intention to like create a place where you could live, or was it also a place to grow food? And did you have that vision like from the start, like I want to plant a food forest?
Yeah, so basically it was that. It was like I wanted to be able to sustain myself and my community around me, friends and family, so planting the trees, having a place to live as well, and just making it as user-friendly and efficient as possible.
All right, so one of the really cool things about your place is that we, like, as we walk through it, we see all these really interesting natural features on the land, such as this massive crack that's formed in the lava rock. So like, how did you find this thing?
Well, coming through here was pretty intense. The luhe is really tall, so the first step in is actually clearing that stuff down so you can see what the ground looks like, see if there's any potential features there. But this one, you see this stump behind us was really tall and actually fell into this crack coming through here. Ever since that point clearing, I walked with a stick to make sure the area was flat first. So this one is particularly interesting. There's a bunch of tree molds in here, and one of the deeper ones I found. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
I feel like we're too close. We need some personal space.
It's perfect.
I'm gonna fall into the crack. Like, go further.
Here, I'll scoot over.
Okay. So like, how did you decide what to do here? Because I can imagine, like, obviously everything's overgrown. You can kind of see, or like, how did you see like where all these rocks are, and how did you like expose them and know where to expose the rocks and where not to, etc.
Well, it's a very, very tricky process. So actually clearing, like I said, clearing all the ferns down first, and then you can kind of see the topography of the height difference in the lava lobes. So planting in low areas I've seen on other lava fields doesn't work because the water holds, but here I look for a spot with a gentle slope. So basically, after clearing it all, seeing the highs and low spots, the high spots make great spots for trails, and then the low spots, if there's proper drainage, make great spots for planting, collecting soil. So with the amount of cracks through here, it drains really well, and all of the low spots are kind of connected in a lower going down the hill. So putting all the organic matter, like the trees, the melastone, the aluhe, all down into that low spot, and then taking the soil from around, as you see on this lava rock around us, and scraping it with a pickaxe, actually. So down into the low spot, covering all those logs and sticks and stuff, and now it's a hygge style bed. Yeah, like sticks in there and logs. So
I like that word.
and then it kind of levels everything out, and yeah.
I scrape all the soil from the trail, and you can obviously see that I can't wheelbarrow down this.
There's a lot of trails through here.
So here we are in front of one of your beautiful lychee trees. How many trees do you have on your property? Fruit trees.
So roughly count is somewhere in the 150.
Okay. And then you also have like other like herb type trees and
Yeah.
such.
So then there's other trees, there's nut trees, there's herb or tea trees, medicinal trees, kukui nut, like a useful tree as well. So there's a bunch of other things in there.
Okay, so you have tons. And how did you get them planted, like all throughout, with like in terms of like bringing soil or using the soil and et cetera, et cetera?
Right. So with the slope of the land and the ups and downs and all the areas, it wasn't wheelbarrowable. So there was soil here, and we concentrated the soil, but wheelbarrowing really wasn't an option unless I wanted to put a lot of effort into making a trail that would be wheelbarrowable, which is almost more work than actually carrying it in with buckets. So we wound up just carrying everything in with buckets, 5-gallon buckets at a time, all the cinder, the gravel for the house, and the soil for the fruit trees. So, well, some of the soil is like scraped, for instance, from the driveway and brought over here, and then mixed with cinder and then mulch on top, so it's all carried in like that.
Wow. And you did this with help, right?
Yes, so I did do a lot of the work, and I did have a couple of my good Hanai brothers come over and my other brother, so did have some family to help out.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of how it was with us and Michael. He did like most of it, but we helped a little bit and gave him moral support.
Yeah, totally. Successionally, so I cleared one area and then cleared the next area, and then 6 months later cleared the next 30 feet and so forth. So the oldest trees are in the front and the youngest trees are in the back, and that was just for the convenience of being able to maintain and pull out all the weeds and let the plants establish themselves. So it's pretty low maintenance with all the peanut grass and the density of the food forest and this stacking method, guild stack method.
So, not ripping the property can be amazing. What advice do you have to people that are looking to do the same thing? You know, they don't want to destroy the natural habitat. You know, they can see they have really nice ohia, or they can maybe do a little scouting and tell that they have good drainage and, you know, maybe some nice lava formations and stuff. What would you recommend people do to get started? You know, start small, or like you said, observation, you know, stuff like that.
So I'd say observing is key. Like half of permaculture or any design with the land, working with the land, starts with observing, and that's probably at least half of the time that's spent on the work there. So initially just having it cleared down, and my advice, call one of us. Our numbers are located at the bottom of the screen.
I mean, I could tell this is a lot more work than if somebody were to rip it, but it can be worth it. I'm starting to see, because a lot of the lots you see, like, the formations aren't like this, the features, but if you do have it, it's really worth saving.
Yeah, for sure.
But the downside, I could see it being a lot of work.
Yeah, so it is a lot of work, and that's kind of why I did it in sections.
Yeah.
So every 50 feet or so, and just every couple months, and just work one area, get it all cherry, and then work on the next section. So it does take a little bit more upfront investment of time, and patience was a big one. So looking for the right spot for the tree or the building or the path, or so. I'd say be patient and just, you know, make a camp and set yourself up good and go with the flow.
That's a lot of things people don't want to do, wait and be patient, but it does pay off.
So, I mean, there's also like hybrid options as well, you know, like dozing a driveway and having that house pad for yourself, and then using the edges of the property to be able to go and do kind of like this. So
yeah, much easier to bring material in and stuff, and still have best of both worlds.
Right. So that's my recommendation, I think, for people is like, it's kind of that medium ground there. So, and then, you know, you could do 300 feet in and then leave the rest to do all this way, or choose later. So, you know,
a lot of our viewers message us and they tell us they're gonna buy sight unseen, and, you know, we find out maybe they never even visited Hawaii. They don't know what it's like. What do you say to those people? Like, should they be moving to Hawaii if they've never been?
Well, so I get this question a lot, tour guiding, and my advice to people is come here and rent or do a workshop or stay at a friend's house for at least a year or two and see how well that works out, okay? Because it's not for everybody. It's, you know, this image of Hawaii being paradise. It is paradise, but it's very different than what you think paradise is. So, or what a lot of people think paradise is, I should say. So that would probably be coming and staying for a while, and then I would never buy sight unseen. Always scope your situation out. It's survival rule number 1.
Yeah, well, we just saw a video about this kind of stuff, and the guy said what most people have in common that moved to Hawaii, the most likely thing they have in common is that they don't stay.
Yeah, so I'd say like a huge percentage, I don't know the exact number, don't quote me, but a lot of people, they say the 5-year mark is like how long the max of a lot of people last year. So especially in Puna District, or in Big Island in general, it's very country out here. So 5 years, 2 to 5 years at the most. So, but the thing is, it draws people in, and there's a reason it draws people here. It has something for them at that point in time in their life, and it, you know, that could be important for a lot of people. But as far as living here long term, buying land is a big thing. Definitely feel it out first. And but yeah, the people that do stay wind up being pretty solid. So it does test you a little bit. You're gonna go through a lot of tests before you're fully rooted and accepted into the Aina here and the community as well. So this is also key right here. Gotta get a dog out here. security, and pigs are a big one that will take out your plants. So yeah, this is the number one farm animal, most useful and loved.
So is this a natural pond?
This is a natural pond, so it's kind of a miracle almost, because lava rock doesn't hold soil or water like this very often. I have seen it in rare cases, but at this elevation, I don't know, it's kind of a fluke. It's just a hard blue rock there. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's a nice little pond feature. Natural, got some lilies in there, some mosquito fish, and
So cute.
working with the land. Got these features that you'd pay money, big money for, just right here in the front yard. So, trail that way and trail that way. Here's the entrance to the greenhouse, which doesn't have much going on right now, but oh dang, look at this.
Strawberry?
2 of them.
Ooh, this stuff is a little bit more jagged.
3 of them. Yeah, so a lot of things, being on the windward side of the island, we get a lot of rain, and there's some things that just need to be in a greenhouse. One of them, strawberries, I found does better with a little bit drier climate, and then your Mediterranean herbs, along with other sensitive plants that aren't necessarily adapted to 150 inches of rain a year. So yeah, look, we got pineapples inside here, or not pineapples. We got strawberries. Right in the rock, you got natural stairs coming from the garden down. So when you're clearing the land, or when I was clearing the land here, the first thing I'm looking for is where flat areas are. So being not so flat, the whole topography, having an area where you can build something or utilize that area is the first thing to do. So creating your zoning. From there, everything else unfolds itself. So the trails to the house pads or flat areas all show themselves at that point. So the zoning in permaculture design is basically usage. So your zone 1, right around your house, things you're going to be checking the most often, things that could ripen easiest. You want those right where you're going to see them every day walking in and out of your house. Now zone 2 and 3 and 4 gets less and less and less, so maybe your bananas in zone 2 and then your avos in zone 3. You don't got to check those as often, and your long-term investment trees even further out. So having that area around your house and then going from there, that's how.
What's up?
All right, you say hey.
Go
You say hey. Okay.